Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie. We're going to get started in just a minute, but if those listening in can let me know if there's any audio or video problems, and we'll just give it another minute and get started. Thank you. All right, we have a thumbs up. Thanks, Fred. Okay, thanks everyone. I am Carrie. I am the Associate Director here at SUNY Plattsburgh in the Financial Aid Office. And tonight's conversation is going to be planning and preparation for the financial aid awarding process, understanding college costs, and talking a lot about sort of the calendar, the timeline of what's to come, where you're at and what's to come over the next several months. So thank you for joining me this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. Please, please, please feel free to ask questions along the way. I'll do my best to answer your questions as we go along. And I'll also make sure we have plenty of time at the end for more inquiries. And then if I can't get to your questions tonight or I don't know the answer, I will certainly get back to you. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about the application process to start with. So let's get going. Applications, the award letter, billing, and how to pay for college. If you have not yet, please, I encourage you to work on your 2020-2021 FAFSA application. So the FAFSA is the federal aid application that sort of kickstarts the financial aid review process for our office. The application, when it became available October 1st, it is live and available now and will continue to be so. We do not have a FAFSA deadline, but we encourage you to fill out your application as soon as possible so that we can initiate that review of your potential financial aid eligibilities. If you completed a FAFSA, but you have not yet heard from our office regarding a financial aid award summary, it's possible maybe you completed a FAFSA and at the time did not list SUNY Plattsburgh as one of your college selections. That's an easy fix. You can return to the FAFSA application at FAFSA.gov, sign into your application, and on the summary page, you'll see a link that says Make FAFSA Corrections. And you can go to the college section of your application and add SUNY Plattsburgh as one of your possible college choices. Submit that change and we'll get the results about a week later and then can do the review for your financial aid opportunities. In addition to filling out the FAFSA application, we also encourage you to apply for the New York State TAP grant program. Now, obviously, if you are a student who will be attending SUNY Plattsburgh but whose residence is outside of New York State, and you do not meet either the criteria for the Pataki rule or under the New York State DREAM Act, then you would not need to initiate New York State aid applications. But if you are a New York State resident or on a border and maybe graduating from a New York State high school, residing just outside our border, or qualify for the New York State DREAM Act, which I'll mention in a minute, then please proceed from the end of your FAFSA application to the TAP application. In the fall, when many of you were doing your FAFSA, the TAP application link from the confirmation page of the FAFSA was not functioning well, particularly for Chrome users. So if you were unable to follow the direct link from your FAFSA to the TAP application, you can go directly there at tapweb.org to submit your application for the TAP grant program. I encourage you to do so even if you think your income may not qualify you for the TAP grant. Some of you may be families who are not being considered for TAP but are considering the New York State Excelsior Scholarship program. And that program requires you to have both the FAFSA and the TAP applications on file. So I would go ahead and do so now while you have time and it's not a super busy season for financial aid considerations. Get those done so that when the Excelsior application becomes available, hopefully in the next few months, you'll be ready to get that application on file as well. Now, I mentioned that New York State has something called the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act has a whole set of criteria where if you qualify, you as a student may receive certain New York State aid resources, even if you don't meet the traditional requirements for New York State aid assistance under the traditional residency rules and citizenship rules. They have done a terrific job on the state's website of explaining the DREAM Act and the application process and who might qualify for New York State aid resources. So I encourage you to visit HES's website. It's on your screen at hesc.ny.gov to learn more about the DREAM Act if you are outside of New York State for residents, or if you may not meet the definition of U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen. Visit the website to learn more about the DREAM Act. Contact our office if you'd like more information, and let us be of assistance. The Excelsior Scholarship, as I mentioned, that application for you families probably listening in, you are families who are looking to attend college beginning in the fall of 2020. That application is not live yet. Today was the application deadline for students who are currently attending college right now. But that application is not relevant to most of you listening in. Your application will be available sometime this late spring or early summer. You can visit New York State's website, again, hesc.ny.gov. And when you click on the Excelsior Scholarship information page, you can enter your email address there, and then you will receive notification via email when the application becomes available. The criteria for Excelsior and the TAP grant program, as well as all the other New York State aid programs, is listed very clearly on New York State's website. We've also maybe listed some information on your financial aid award letter about possible eligibilities in some state aid programs. Give us a call or send an email if you want any further information at all between now and when aid programs become finalized for this next school year. Okay, another great thing to do during the winter time now, before things get super busy in the college preparation activities you've got going on, is to look for other resources to help make college affordable. Your school guidance office is a great resource for you. They often have a slew of information available about outside scholarships from local donors in your community, as well as donors all over. And the application timeline is about now, from now till about maybe the start of May for most applications to be submitted for college scholarships. So visit your guidance office to learn more about opportunities there. And then you can also do online scholarship searches. Online searches and search websites have great, very comprehensive resources that they can point you towards. You usually set up a profile where the student would explain information about themselves, like their intended major and their academic achievements and their extracurricular activities and community service involvement. And by putting that information into your profile, the scholarship search engine will spit out a list of potential opportunities that are available to you, explain who the donors are and what the application process is. And then also you have resources available to you through your affiliations in your local community, the activities that you're involved in after school and on weekends. Even your own employers may have scholarship opportunities or interest-free loans. You just need to inquire and look around and ask about those opportunities. Okay, I'm hoping many of you have received your financial aid award summary from our college. It began with an email from our office, and that email went to the student's email address listed on the FAFSA application. Now and for the next few months, we will use the student's email address that you provided us on your FAFSA for communicating with you. After the next couple months, we'll begin using your Plattsburgh email address as our primary method of communicating with you. But as you're getting used to logging into My Plattsburgh and familiarizing yourself with the email and other functions of the My Plattsburgh portal, in the meantime, we're using your FAFSA email address to communicate. So hopefully you got an email from us sometime in the last couple months saying your financial aid award summary has been prepared, and there's a link in the email that directs you out to your My Plattsburgh portal where you can see your award letter from our office. That looks a little bit like what's on your screen here. So we initiate the financial aid award summary by giving you information about the types of financial aid that are available to you and the amounts of those resources. We distinguish them between grants and scholarships and other free sources of funding versus possibly student loans, and then also student job opportunities. And they each have information that you need to know about what it took to qualify for those awards, why the amount is the amount that you've been offered. Are the awards something that you can get in future years, or are they a one-time only award? If it's a loan, what are the interest rates and fees and obligations of having borrowing for your college endeavor? And then student job opportunities. We will connect you with what's called Handshake now, where you can learn about all the student jobs available on campus. So that award summary that you received gives really good information about all these different resources. And then it goes into more detail beyond the amounts. We then take the next step on the award summary and we give you information about your possible college costs. So how much do we cost based on your intention to either be an on-campus student or an off-campus student or a commuter student? Now, it does say estimated. Some of your awards are estimated and your bill is estimated on your award summary. You'll have to bear with us because there's a lot of decisions that are still being made. As far as your financial aid award numbers, your actual award amounts, many of those awards are estimated because there are decisions still to be made, such as the finalization of the federal budget, the finalization of the New York State budget, and those influence the amounts of your Pell Grant from the federal government and your New York State aid awards like the TAP grant. So those awards will remain estimated until we're past budget decisions and processing is underway at the federal and the state levels for awards decisions for the next school year. Regarding your estimated bill, we've done our best to give you the information that we have on hand regarding next year's tuition costs, as well as college fees, room charges, and meal plans. The numbers definitely could vary, hopefully not significantly. We've taken into consideration what traditionally is the average increase to those costs each year and such. So these estimates that we're giving you are a really good ballpark to plan for and a really good starting point for you to have the conversations about how you're going to afford college. I'm going to pause 1 second because I think I have a question, so I'm going to check. Okay, I've got a couple questions. If I did my FAFSA already and included Plattsburgh on my FAFSA, do I need to do it again? You absolutely do not need to do it again. If you included Plattsburgh in your FAFSA and you did not receive a financial aid award summary from us yet, an email indicating your award package is ready for viewing, and when you log into your My Plattsburgh account, there is no award letter available to you, send me an email, give a call to the office tomorrow or whenever. We'll find out why we haven't gotten you the information you're looking for. If I did not receive the award summary in my email, is that a bad thing? Is another question. Absolutely not. If you didn't get the email, you can still see your award summary on your My Plattsburgh account. If something happens, you don't have an award summary yet, check in with our office, send us an email and to find out why we haven't provided you your award information yet. Another question, is it too late to submit a FAFSA for this coming school year? Absolutely not. Go ahead and get your FAFSA on file anytime. The sooner the better, so we can get you some numbers to start planning. But we don't have a deadline. You can file your FAFSA whenever you'd like in preparation for this next school year. Another question, are there SUNY Plattsburgh specific scholarships? We noticed a sign around campus about money available for reasons such as like being participating in the symphonic band. We do have campus scholarships. We have a lot of what we call departmental awards, where the money is available within each academic or area of campus. and they make those awards available to qualifying students as the money exists and as the students meet the criteria. So that's not really something you have to apply separately for. You'll automatically be considered for what we call departmental scholarships as you begin and continue your attendance at SUNY Plattsburgh. And of course, our admissions office has wonderful scholarship opportunities for students through the admissions process, and you can learn more on our website about the scholarship and grant programs that are available as you become admitted to the college. Okay, that's what I've got for questions for now. So I'll go back to reviewing our financial aid award letters. After we talk about the estimated bill, we also remind families that there are costs beyond what we charge you. So in addition to the bill you'll receive from us each semester, don't forget that you have to purchase your books for your classes. And you need personal expenses, things as simple as socks and shampoo to maybe a little more expensive, such as warm winter coats. And then transportation also is easy to forget, but that can be expensive if you're traveling a distance to get here to campus. That could involve obviously some gas money or a train ticket or a bus ticket. So don't forget that there may be added costs. And then the things that students spend money on when they're not sitting in the classroom, entertainment and phone costs and things like that are other expenses you'll incur while you're interacting as a student. Okay, our award letter gives in further information about things like college payment plans, ways to look for other money to pay for college, such as parent loans and private student loans. And we provide helpful links out to other websites to direct you for more information and guidance on borrowing and how to apply for these various opportunities. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, proxy accounts in the My Plattsburgh portal. Some of you maybe have not yet logged into My Plattsburgh. You have been provided a net ID through various communications from our college admissions office as well as our financial aid office. It should be listed on most of the communications you receive from our office, your student ID. Once you're logged into My Plattsburgh, you've created your password and logged in, you'll be able to do a lot on your Plattsburgh portal. You'll register online, you'll view the status of your admissions application and any outstanding items needed to finalize that application. You'll view your financial aid award letter. You'll see your financial aid requirements, where we might be asking you to provide more information to our office or documents so that we can finalize your financial aid awards, and a whole slew of other things that you'll do on your My Plattsburgh account. The account is the student's account, so it's the student's ID and password to log into that account. However, parents and others interested in the student's college endeavors may want access to certain information. Parents particularly like to know when a student bill has been issued online, or the status of the financial aid award letter and outstanding financial aid requirements. To do so, students can establish something called a proxy account for those interested. When the student logs into My Plattsburgh, there is a link to managing proxy accounts. And in that link, the student can set up an account for one or more individuals who then can have login access to certain aspects of the student's account, such as the bill and financial aid. The student defines what access each individual has. It is view access, so there won't be updating available. You can't register a student for classes and things like that, but that view access is very handy. Setting up a proxy account also gives our office the opportunity to share certain email communications. So when we see that a student has authorized a proxy user for communications, we then can include that person on emails of the financial aid award summary, or when we're asking for missing information, or when we're notifying the student that a bill has been generated. So access the My Plattsburgh account and the proxy management system to set up proxy users, and you can also deactivate proxy users in that same management access. The financial aid award package is the starting point for financial aid, and there's often many things that might need to occur after the award summary is offered to finalize financial aid awards and get set up for delivery of that financial aid funding. So your award summary gives information on other things you may need to do. That is a snapshot. At the time that we prepared your financial aid summary, this is what we identified as possible to do items. Your My Plattsburgh portal, under the financial aid menu, there's a link that says My Requirements. My Requirements is a very helpful tool in My Plattsburgh because it shows current live information at the moment that you're logging in regarding other information that we're looking for you to take action on or respond to. So if you don't have the award summary in front of you, or if you're wondering if something is new since your award summary, your My Requirements link is going to let you know if there's outstanding items. Okay, I mentioned the timeline. So this is what we're looking at moving forward. You've completed your financial aid applications, or will be doing so hopefully soon. You've received your financial aid award summary from us, or if have not, you're going to email or give me a call and we'll find out why that hasn't been offered to you, and we'll promptly resolve that. And over the next couple months, you're really going to be thinking long and hard about your college decision, what college is the right choice for you, and making the deposit decision on which college you're going to attend. Once you've decided to deposit to SUNY Plattsburgh, because that's the best decision, this is what we're looking at. After May 1st and the deposit deadline comes June, obviously you'll be finishing your high school activities. Following high school, you'll have some items to complete, such as making sure your high school provides our college your final high school transcript. If you're bringing in any credits from high school, you'll make sure those transcripts are sent to our college so we can make sure that we're registering you into correct classes, and we've been notified of all of your transfer credit availability. You'll attend summer orientation. That's usually in July here on campus. You'll visit the campus for a couple days and tour and have the opportunity to meet with academic advisors and all kinds of department chairs and heads and students and staff alike to familiarize yourself with the campus. You'll also register for your coursework at that time and get advising on your major and the course availability. Just after you attend summer orientation is when you'll get your first semester's bill with the college. So we'll issue your bill about a week or so after summer orientation, and your student bill usually comes due around mid-August. So you've got a few weeks between when you get your bill and its due date to sort of plan for those final decisions for how you're going to make payment to your bill if payment is due. And then classes begin around the end of August. So a lot of things happening during the summer months, and our office will keep in touch with you via email regarding your to-do items and where we're at in the calendar and what next steps need to be done. Okay, so as I mentioned, your bill is going to be due around mid-August or so, and classes begin at the end of the fall semester. That bill that you receive requires a response. Our student bills are interactive. A portion of the student bill is what we call mandatory. You'll have a set of fees and obviously your tuition charge that every student pays to be a student at SUNY Plattsburgh. Those require no action on your part. Those are what we call mandatory charges. But some of your charges are optional. So for example, we have a fee for parking on campus. But if you're a student who is not going to be using the parking facilities, you obviously don't need to pay the parking fee. So when you get your bill in the summertime is when you'll have the opportunity to waive any of the fees that you feel you don't need, which includes various campus services. So that bill processing has a due date, and that's around mid-August that you'll want to finish your bill processing, whatever the due date is on that. That's helpful to you because by processing your bill, we activate the services you've chosen to take, such as a meal plan. So to be able to use your meal swipes when you get to campus, you're going to want to go ahead and activate your bill and confirm your enrollment on your bill and finalize those activities. Okay, if you don't do your bill processing by the due date, there is the possibility that your services won't be activated when you arrive to campus. We also eventually begin to assess late fees on unpaid and unprocessed bills, and you may have a hold on your account that prevents things like course registration and dropping. So doing your bill activity in a timely manner is a good thing, and our office and the student accounts office are here to help you with all of that. I'm going to pause for 1 second because I think I have a new question and I don't want to get too far ahead of the questions. Let's see. Okay, no, I don't. I don't have one. Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. Okay. When I attend Plattsburgh, I will be an Army reservist, so I'll be provided tuition assistance. The admissions office told me to fill out a FAFSA as well, although I didn't think I would need any more assistance. And I understand that that you may not need that additional assistance, but we also encourage you to fill out the FAFSA as well. There's a little bit of evaluation that takes place to make sure that we are maximizing the resources available to you. And some students, even if the Army is paying your tuition and fee costs, some students like the financial aid that is available through the FAFSA, even something like a student loan or the work-study program, as additional resources. So I also encourage you to fill out the FAFSA, and we'll make sure we get you the response, and then you can make decisions on the resources that are best for you. Another inquiry, just to confirm, are freshmen allowed to park on campus? Yes, they are. We don't have restrictions on our parking facilities and who the parking facilities are available to. There are restrictions on which lots you park in and what locations you park, verifiable parking spaces versus otherwise. But absolutely, you're welcome to use the parking facilities by paying the parking registration and the parking fee. One more question, inquiring about the out-of-state SUNY scholarship called the Welcome to New York grant. We do have a grant called Welcome to New York, and it is available specifically to students who are who have applied for admission to our college and whose state of residence is outside of New York State. Generally, the criteria for that award is that you attend as a full-time student and you reside in our dorms. That's pretty much the extent of the criteria of it. It is an award offered through the admissions office. They will evaluate your state of residence and let you know if you qualify for that award program. If you haven't heard from admissions and you think you should qualify, certainly check in with them. One more question about the topic we were just having about the student bills. Can you make monthly payments? So our college does have 2 payment plans available. So instead of having to pay your bill all up front in mid-August when the bill comes due, you can sign up for one of our payment plans, which is 4 months. So breaking that bill down into 4 monthly payments. Or you can sign up for our other payment plan, which is 2 payments, 50% in August and 50% in the middle of the semester around mid-October. So we do have a monthly payment plan. They are short-term. But they are helpful for a lot of families. Okay, more inquiries. Normally, how much does students have to pay each year for room and board, and how much does it add up to at the end of the year? Oh boy, that is an excellent question, and I wish I had an answer for you. Each student's costs are very different though. Our room costs are listed on our financial aid, on our college website, as well as our meal plan costs. The room costs can vary. There might be a higher cost for students living maybe in a room without a roommate. Our meal plans have varying costs depending on your level of usage, interest in usage, and how often you're going to participate in meal activities. After your freshman year, all freshmen pay the same amount for meal plan, but after your freshman year, there are varying opportunities. Our website is fantastic. If you visit the tuition and fees website and then click on the link for room and meal plan costs, very good information, not only about the cost, but about what each of the services offered are. So what each of the food services offer, as well as the different rooms available. You can even do a virtual tour of our dorms. Is there an extra fee for choosing one of the monthly payment plans? Very good question. Very thoughtful question. There is an extra fee for choosing a monthly payment plan. Right now, the fee is a $35 non-refundable payment plan sign-up fee. Now that fee is one time each semester. Once you are signed up for a payment plan, you're in the plan. There is no interest charged in our college payment plans. So you pay the one-time fee, but no interest. So you'll have to weigh the value of that versus your other options for paying the college bill. Good question. Good questions everywhere. Okay, when will orientation be this summer? Orientation will be throughout usually the month of July, maybe the very end of June, but mostly throughout the month of July. And there are varying dates. So if you know up front that you have a conflict, in this case, you've advised of military training, check in with our orientation office. You can find their phone number on our website by doing a search for orientation. Check in and let them know that you have a scheduling conflict and they'll help accommodate you, definitely. Good questions. Okay. Oh, okay, good question coming up. If my FAFSA says that my family contribution is 0, so I have $0 available to pay for college, does that mean that the FAFSA will take care of all my fees, such as like a full ride to college? I wish that was the case, and myself and my colleagues in the profession spend an awful lot of time advocating for students and families and searching out ways to convince the powers that be in the governmental entities that there needs to be more financial aid for students going to college. That's definitely not what the 0 means, though, on your FAFSA. If you've gotten your FAFSA results and it's calculated in EFC for you, that EFC, meaning estimated or expected family contribution, that's a gauge of your ability to pay for college, the way the government has evaluated your ability to help pay for college. So if your EFC is very, very low, your student aid report says you have $0 available or a small number of dollars available, what they want you to do with that information is really, really think about your college decision, because it's likely there will be an out-of-pocket cost. I'm not overly familiar with any ways of going to college totally for free, especially if you're going away to college and incurring room and meal plan costs. It's near impossible. I can't actually picture a scenario where it is possible that you can go away to college and have it fully paid for, including room and meals. So what they want you to do with the results of your FAFSA and your student aid report is think about the right decision for you based on your ability to help pay for college, because it's not going to be a full ride. In all likelihood, there will be a cost associated with going to college for you. That could be in the form of borrowing a student loan or having payments due to the college bill. And you'll have to think about, if you are on a very, very fixed or restricted income, how you're going to accommodate paying for college. Obviously, the financial aid programs are going to do everything they can to help make college affordable for you, but there are limits to the availability and amounts of financial aid resources. Okay, one more question and then we'll get back to the slides. If you choose the 4-month payment plan option, what months are the payments due? So in the fall, your months are August, September, October, and November. Payments due on each of those months by the 20th of those months. And then for the spring semester, your months are January, February, March, and April by the 20th of each of those months. Okay, I'm going to go back to my slides and then I'll remember to go to the questions again in a minute. Let's see. Okay, so the college payment plans that I just mentioned, if you are working on making payments towards the bill, the months here are listed, as well as if you choose the 2-month payment plan. Okay, so we sort of covered that. So let's go on to the next slide. Okay, a little bit about student loans and parent loans. Not the ideal conversation, probably not one you want to hear tonight, but I can pretty much bet almost all of you have seen federal student loans and information about federal parent loans in your financial aid award summaries. They are financial aid assistance. They are an available resource to help you afford college. Yes, it is debt, and it is debt that has to be repaid with interest at a period in time until the debt is paid off. It is like every other debt you're familiar with. in that you can postpone it for a little while, but eventually it comes due. So here's a little bit about student loans. Student loans in your award summary are going to be either showing as subsidized or unsubsidized, or a combination of the two. If you've been offered a subsidized student loan, that means there is no interest being charged to the student while the student is in school. So that debt has no accumulating interest. The interest begins 6 months after the student stops studying on at least a half-time basis, and the interest continues through the life of the loan until it's fully repaid, but no interest while the student is in school. Whereas the unsubsidized loan has interest being charged to it from the moment the loan funds are delivered to the college. So it has that accumulating interest while the student is in school, and although you can pay the interest while the student is attending on a scheduled arrangement with the loan servicer, it's usually about once every 6 months, they'll send you an interest statement. That interest is accumulating, and if you don't make the interest payments as you go along, it will capitalize once a year, which means then that in the next year and the years after, you're paying interest on top of your interest that has capitalized. Some of you were not offered subsidized student loan funding. The calculation of your aid eligibility did not determine subsidized eligibility, so you've only been offered unsubsidized student loans in your award package. Student loans right now are at 4.53% interest. However, that interest rate will change on July 1st. That's when the federal government sets the new interest rates each year. We don't usually have a heads up on what that interest rate will be until just about July 1st. So we'll update our website and all of our communications to students when we do know the interest rate for this next school year and any changes in student loan fees. So students, you've been offered as freshmen a maximum of $5,500, which is what the federal government limits freshman students to in borrowing through the federal student loan programs. In your second year of study, your maximum is $6,500, and in your third and fourth years of study, the maximum is $7,500. The government does certainly understand that your costs of going to college might mean that you need more than those maximums that they're offering. Unfortunately, those are the ceilings, and that's intentional because the government doesn't want students to borrow excessively. So they do put a limit on how much the student can borrow through the federal student loan programs. Now, all that said, there is an exception to these limits. In circumstances where the student can document and go through the process of identifying where a parent may be ineligible for a parent loan due to deficient credit, the student may be eligible for a larger amount, up to $4,000 additional in freshman and sophomore years, up to $5,000 additional in junior and senior years in these federal student loans. So if you're in a circumstance where the student loans being offered in your award package are not sufficient for your needs, and the parent has a credit issue causing a credit delinquency, contact our office and we will give you guidance on what the process is for maybe considering the student for a larger availability of federal student loan. Okay. There are also loan programs available for parents called the Federal Parent Loan Program. PLUS loans, as they're acronymed, are available to either the parent in the household, in the student's household. It also could be available to another biological or adoptive parent who might not be in the student's immediate household. It is not available to non-parents, so grandparents, individuals who have custody or guardianship are not eligible to borrow through the Federal Parent Loan Program. Only biological parents, adoptive parents, or a step parent if that step parent is in the student's household. Those are the only individuals who can apply for Federal Parent Plus loans. I had a question pop up, so I'm just going to double check before I proceed in case it's relevant to this immediate conversation. Oh, there's a question about EOP, and I didn't mention EOP, you're right, I don't have a slide about it, but I will absolutely mention it in just a second. A previous question to that though that I missed, and I'm sorry I wasn't checking regularly. If you have a subsidized loan, are you able to make payments while in school? whatever type of student loan or parent loan that you may borrow, you are eligible to make payments while you're in school on any of your education loans that you may borrow. And yes, that's an excellent thing to do and an excellent idea. Oh, and I clicked to the wrong slide. Bear with me. I'm going to go back to where I was because I want to finish talking about the federal parent loans. And I will talk about EOP in a second. Thank you for that inquiry. The federal parent loans, in addition to only being available to true parents, they do a credit check on the federal parent loans. So you have to be credit eligible to qualify, whereas student loans do not have a credit check. The amount that you can borrow in the federal parent loan is as much as is needed to help with the student's cost of attendance. So there's not per se a dollar amount fixed limit. It varies student to student and can incorporate billed costs as well as non-billed costs. You can repay parent loans while the student is attending college, or you can wait and repay the parent loan after the student has ceased attending on at least a half-time basis. Interest rate is a little bit higher on the parent loan, and once again, that is going to change on July 1st. So we'll keep you posted on any new interest rates over the next few months as we get closer. Okay, let's continue. Give me a second. Okay, I've mentioned our website a couple times. Really good information there about understanding current college costs, financial aid opportunities and what they entail, learning about student employment options, how to apply for aid, how to prepare for the bill paying process, and all of our forms. A lot of you may be getting weekly or bi-weekly notifications from us or from admissions saying you have outstanding financial aid items. We're asking maybe for something called a verification worksheet or other such documentation. We have a long list of financial aid forms available on our website. One of the very first forms that you'll find on our website is something called the Angel College Scholarship. It's the only scholarship program that our office directly oversees, and that application is currently available. If you're interested in applying for the Angel College Scholarship, we usually have 1 or 2 awards that we can give out each year. The brochure is on our financial services forms page, which explains how to apply and what information to submit to our office. Let's see. Reasons to contact us. We're your resource for all these questions you have that didn't get answered tonight, all the questions that are going to pop up over the next many, many months. A lot of your questions are going to be very specific to your individual scenarios, and that's what we're here for. We have 3 financial aid advisors, a financial aid assistant, the director, and myself, and our 2 receptionists all answer the phones. We all are here to help answer your questions. So talk to us if you're curious about borrowing options and the college payment plans. Also talk to us when you've had a change in circumstances. And what we mean when we say that is, if you think about that FAFSA that you filled out, it asks you to report your family's household income information from the calendar year 2018. Well, think about now we're already in 2020. A lot could have changed for you as a family between your income in 18 and now, or what may be coming over the next couple months. Somebody might be retiring, somebody might have been out of work for whatever reason. There might be medical illnesses and bills in your household. So many different things affecting your financial circumstances. We're not nosy, but when you contact us, and we might ask about special circumstances, or if you call and we're having another conversation and it comes up, it's because there are times when we can make more financial aid resources available to students. If you've had an economic hardship or a severe change in circumstances, we don't know, though, that we need to reach out to you and look for other resources for you. So you need to let us know if something's changed, and let us talk through your options and see if there's any more resources available. Okay, EOP program. And thank you for those who are listening that are exploring our EOP program. We have such a fabulous program, and it's so well supported. So let me just give you a sneak peek about our EOP program, and then I'll go back to the questions. Our EOP program is a program where students become admitted, eligible for admission and financial eligibility to the program. It's a special admit category, so we're going to take our time to review your academic qualifications as well as your financial history. So if you've applied as an EOP student, you may be getting requests from our office for things like tax returns and documents of income that come from your household and members of your household. And you want to get that information to us really soon so we can evaluate your eligibility for the program. Students who participate in our EOP program not only receive financial assistance in the form of an EOP grant, an EOP book award to assist with book purchases. First and second year students also receive scholarship assistance. But in addition to the financial assistance, the extra financial assistance EOP program students receive, they have a staff in the EOP office that provides academic, personal, career, all kinds of advising and services available. They will help connect you with tutors on campus for free. They will help connect you with study skill programs. They'll direct you to the library. They'll give you guidance on what coursework is going to help you and what type of majors are available. They are the best staff and so committed to helping you through every part of your education. So it's a fabulous program. If you're interested in learning more, visit our EOP office website, our admissions office website, reach out and talk with the folks in those offices to learn more about that program. Okay, I'm going to go back to questions, but in case you're going to tune out at this point, thank you for joining me tonight. This is our staff in the financial aid office and our contact info. Please contact us anywhere along the way as your questions arise over the next many months. I do have a couple more questions that have come in, so let me check on those. Good question. What does EOP stand for? Our EOP program. Why is my brain? Educational Opportunity Program. I had a brain fuzz there. Educational Opportunity Program. I'm sorry, my brain's getting late in the evening. EOP, Educational Opportunity Program. Visit it on the website. Great information there. And the deadline for EOP applications, well, I'm not going to give you a hard and fast deadline. We will be considering applications throughout these next several months. I strongly encourage you to submit your application and all of the documentation we're looking for as soon as possible, though, so that you get responses quickly from us. Thank you. What percentage of Plattsburgh students are part of the EOP program? Well, now I would just be lying to you if I quoted a specific percentage because I really don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I think we have a couple hundred students right now participating in the EOP program, but I'm really not certain. And the EOP program can give you more info about that if you're curious about our actual statistics. Good question, though. I'm sorry I don't know the answer. I got too many other numbers rolling around in my head right now, I guess. Any other questions this evening? And thank you for joining me. Anyone else have any questions? I'll hang out a minute in case you're typing. Okay, I see some folks are signing out. That's great. If you have other questions as we go along, that's fine. I do have one more question that I'll answer specifically about deployment. So if that's not relative to you and you don't have further questions, please feel free to log off. I do want to answer this question though, because it's a great question. If a student is participating in an educational endeavor and either during or before get called up to deployment, how will that affect your classes and such? Typically, well, first off, we have a fantastic Veterans Affairs office. We have a fantastic Student Affairs office. The minute you know that you've got a commitment outside of the campus, let the campus know. We will work with you. We will help you exit your classes and any other services that need to be postponed. while you're deployed, we work with you directly, and we'll make sure all of that is timely and responsive, so that you can go make your commitment. After deployment, if you have the opportunity to return to college, once again, we'll work with you. We'll give you guidance on becoming a student again and becoming readmitted and rematriculated. It's not overly complicated. It's just a matter of keeping us informed, and we'll help you through the process. Great question. Hey, there's a question, 2 questions. Okay. Is this presentation available? Yes, this presentation is going to be available. I believe you will get an email letting you know that the presentation has been recorded, and it'll be available to follow the link. So you'll have access to it anytime you want. A question, 2 more questions about what percentage of students get accepted into work study. So I'm not going to give you a specific percentage, but we have about 300 student employment positions every year available on campus through the work study program. We have far more than 300 students who are offered work study awards. Work study is not a placement program, so if you've been offered a work study award in your financial aid award summary, what that means is you have the opportunity to seek employment through our work study program. And we will share information as we get closer to the start of classes of how to do that. Students log into the campus software called Handshake and can see job postings. They can set up a profile online to connect with potential employers. And all that will be available, and more information shared as we get closer to the start of the semester. Maybe the essence of the question is if you're offered a work study job, do you stand a good chance of finding employment? And my response to that, if I've interpreted your question correctly, is you definitely have to be proactive. There are more students looking for jobs than there are jobs available. So it's sort of the early bird gets the worm kind of thing, where you know, you want to look for the jobs and participate. We have a job fair the first week of classes in the fall semester. Participate in the job fair and get at your job seeking activities fairly right away when the semester gets underway. I am so happy, though, that I can also report we have a very, very supportive campus that offers student employment jobs through something called temp service. So we have 2 student employment programs available on campus. And in addition, our community is very supportive of students. So all the local businesses and organizations are happy to interact with students as employer-employee relations, and you can learn about off-campus jobs as well as you get closer to the start of the semester. That information is available through the college and, of course, through our local community resources. A question about visitation for EOP on-spot admissions. And I think I get the gist of that questions. We actually have a fantastic event coming up in the city. We're calling it Instant Decision Days. And that is a cooperative activity occurring with some of the community-based organizations that support students in the Metro City area. So I'm not sure. I would be uncomfortable speaking to availability of appointments for those events coming up. So I would talk with, if you are a student who works with a CBO, talk with your CBO partner, talk with your high school guidance office, contact our admissions office and our EOP office. So lots of ways to get in touch with us so that you can find out if we'll be in your area and can visit with you nearby you. Okay, great questions. It's not too late to submit your FAFSA. Another question. Go ahead and get it done whenever you can. We'll get you a response as quick as possible. No deadline, though. So no, go ahead and get your FAFSA done when you have time. Are there SUNY Plattsburgh specific scholarships? Yes, there are. Visit our website. We've got great information about our admissions scholarships on our website, and there's also a link to departmental scholarships. and you can learn more there. But we do offer students, not only new students, but continuing students, scholarship opportunities here. And I'm grateful and that we have a tremendous amount of campus support for our students. Okay, I don't have any more questions right now. And I think the vast majority of folks have signed out. I'll hang out just another minute in case anybody else is typing. Okay. Y'all have been great. Thank you for joining me tonight. Check in with us anytime. If I didn't get your questions answered tonight or a question arises as you go along, check in with us. We're here to help you. Thank you. Good luck with the rest of your school year, and be well. Have a good night.